You are looking live here at DNA HQ in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And on today's episode of the podcast, we have what does it mean to college football when BYU hires Kevin Young as their head coach for their basketball team?
And the state of Utah. That is not how I want to start that. And Ryan Smith formally introduces the new hockey team. I don't know what I want to say there, dude.
Ryan Smith introduces the new hockey team to the Utah fan base. Let's go ahead and revisit it. In Major League Baseball, let's go ahead and talk about, what was our baseball one?
Let's talk about Major League Baseball.
Let's go ahead and talk about Major League Baseball. All that more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing good, buddy. I'm doing really good. It's been an eventful couple of days for us.
Yes, it has. Definitely has. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about that. Before we do that, let's go ahead and have our intro cheers here.
Intro cheers.
Yep. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, my friends.
If the YouTube algorithm wants to know what that is apple juice.
Yes.
For everybody else, it's whiskey.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's first go ahead and let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's go ahead and cover a sporting event that actually did a bit of sporting news that happened earlier last week, actually, that we didn't get a chance to cover.
Mm-hmm.
And there was quite a bit of comments on this in local sports talk radio. If you listen to 1280 The Zone or ESPN 700 here locally, they did have a lot of talk about this and how this actually affects, college football here. So that starts with the hiring of Kevin Young as the head coach for BYU going into, they had their first season, but he's going to be the new head coach at BYU for their basketball program.
Yep.
First of all, congratulations to Kevin Young for that. He is one of the top 15 highest paid coaches in the NCAA right now.
I'm not sure we know that for sure because BYU doesn't release any of their.
Oh, we know exactly what it is.
See, I looked and I couldn't find it.
So this is, gotta listen to sports talk radio in the morning, man. You learn a whole bunch of stuff.
Apparently, I'm missing out on sports talk radio.
So there's actually quite a bit going on there. So basically, Ryan Smith again throwing his weight around. By the way, I don't know if you saw it on our Twitter and our Facebook. There, we shared how busy Ryan Smith has been.
Crazy
busy.
Check it out.
You can see that there was a little graphic from Jazz Nation on there that we shared on that. So appreciate Jazz Nation for putting that out. But basically, he's actually pointed up quite a bit of the money to kind of cover this. So this is something that BYU doesn't do often, but they're actually paying their coach to be a top 15 coach in college basketball. We know he's making $4.2 million a year.
Okay.
A lot of that money is coming from Ryan Smith. Denny Ainge threw his weight around to do the recruiting. And so, yeah, BYU is definitely stepping it up and going in on the basketball program.
Which is crazy.
So what does that mean for college football? Well, to me, that's obviously something that they're not doing for Kalani Sitake, or we would have heard some of that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
The scuttlebutt around Kalani Sitake's is making around 2.4 a year, which is half of, probably almost about half of what the college basketball coach is making. So what that tells me that BYU feels like they can go. They're going all in on the basketball because they feel like they can make a name for themselves as a basketball school, kind of like your Kentucky, your Dukes, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
While Utah cannot do well on the basketball side of things, at least not for the last decade or so.
Struggling
on the struggle bus, driving that SOB. And kind of having all the success you want as a football program. So with this hiring, do you think that basically making a statement saying that going forward, they're going to predominantly try and push to be a a predominant basketball school.
I think absolutely. And I think it also kind of tells you that Kalani Sitake doesn't get things together for BYU football here pretty shortly. I mean, Kalani's gone 61-41 at BYU.
Oof.
That is not a great record. I mean, his first year in the Big 12. And don't get me wrong, moving into a Power 5 conference is difficult. We saw the Utes go through it.
Mm-hmm.
It was rough sledding, right? But the whole reason that BYU went independent was to give themselves a chance to be successful and recruit these players and play with Notre Dame and play with, you know what I mean? Like they wanted to make that next step.
They also introduced it. They also announced that they were going into the Big 12 2 years early while they were still in independence.
So that they could make sure they could get a hold of any of that recruiting they could get.
Right.
And they still went 5-7.
Right.
And 2-7 in conference play, which is horrendous.
Right.
BYU really struggled last year. And I think it's kind of them sending a picture or sending a message to BYU football. Like, you guys got to get it up, right? I mean, we'll be a basketball school if that's what we got to do.
Exactly.
Because right now the football team isn't anything that we're talking about.
Exactly. We do have a comment here. We have it from Michelle McKinnon. Did I miss the Dodgers? No, we have not talked about baseball yet. We definitely will get to that for sure. We have a lot of talk about baseball on this episode, so we'll definitely get to that. But first, we're going to go ahead and cover a little bit of college football and some hockey before we get into that. So definitely stay tuned, Michelle. We'll get to the baseball for sure. Especially got some talk about the Dodgers this week as well, so we'll definitely talk about it. But yeah, I think I 100% agree with you on that. What I'm starting to see here from this kind of shift is you got your Gonzagas and stuff like that. They're powerhouses in basketball, and I don't believe Gonzaga even has a football program. Not that I'm aware of.
I have no idea. I've never heard of Gonzaga football.
Sorry, Gonzaga. Like, if you guys have a football program, that's our bad.
That's our bad.
Yeah, we don't really know anything about it. But anyway, I think that's kind of basically what they're kind of doing there, man. They're kind of throwing it. I wouldn't say they're throwing in the white flag to say they're not going to have a football program, but they're definitely not pushing. That's not going to be their primary focus for what's promoting the school going forward. I don't think. Which
is crazy because football brings in more money to these big conferences than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, especially being affiliated in the Big 12, right? Like that was the reason they did. I mean, they'll be fully vested in the next couple of years, and they'll be getting some of that revenue coming in. And maybe that's when they decide to make a change on Kalani Sitake, right? They give him a couple of years to prove, because I think he's only signed through 2027, so he's only got a few more years under contract with him.
Gotcha.
And the fact is we know BYU is more than happy to ask him to exit politely and go in search of another head coach. That's not going to be an issue. So. I mean, they've had some rough recruiting years. You know what I mean? This year, their recruiting ranking was like number 60, and their transfer ranking was 84th.
Wow!
So they're not getting high quality players into the program, and it's due to their lack of success, really. So
let's go ahead and go back to the Kevin Young signing here for a little bit. I do want to mention a few things on that. He was the highest paid assistant coach in college in the NBA. He was the highest paid assistant coach.
I can believe it. I mean,
for Phoenix.
Yeah.
This guy had 8 head coaching job interviews over the last couple of years. 8. Mm-hmm. This guy was literally 1 foot on the line of having a head coaching job.
Yeah. He interviewed with the Jazz.
Yeah.
Before they hired Will Hardy.
Yeah. So he was definitely close to being a head coach in the NBA, and he left the top assistant job with Phoenix to go be BYU's head coach going forward. What kind of moves does that tell you? Like,
well, I read quite a bit about this signing, right? And some of the big reason that he chose college basketball over the NBA was a lot of it had to do with the travel. An NBA travel schedule, you're on the road 200 days a year.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Very, very true.
If you're playing college basketball, you're on the road 70 or 80 nights a year. That is a huge difference. He is a family man. He does get a chance to, spend more time with his family in a city that is known to be a little bit more family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, to answer your question, what does that say? I think it just says that this presents a huge opportunity for him. Right. You know what I mean? Like this is huge because, like you said, this dude had interest from the Nets, interest from the Hornets, and then BYU. Those are like the 3 that he was kind of picking between.
Right.
And I mean, he had to pick up and move his family to one of these places, and he obviously chose Utah.
Yeah, which is crazy. If you really think about the difference in college sports versus professional going on right now, he walked into the NIL nightmare versus going straight into this is something.
And he was on record saying he's a little bit nervous about it.
for BYU, who is not exactly known for throwing money around,
Yeah.
So there's definitely going to be some learning curve for him there and some creative thinking. So anyway, congratulations to Kevin Young. I'm glad he picked the position that best fit him and his family versus chasing the bag. Although he did get a quite nice,
still got a bag
there at BYU. So congratulations. But yeah, so I mean, I just think that tells us a lot about what's going to happen going forward. BYU's kind of positioned themselves, at least in the near future, to be a basketball school, trying to push for a basketball powerhouse in the Big 12. Versus what Utah's doing, which is obviously not competing in the Big 12 for basketball. At least doesn't look like it.
And to be clear, being a powerhouse in the Big 12 is saying a ton, dude.
It's saying a lot.
They've got a lot of talent in the Big 12 as far as basketball schools. So
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if they can, this guy has the potential to move BYU into being a basketball school.
Yeah,
that's his job, right? Like,
yeah,
he's going to take them to the next level. It's going to be fun to watch BYU basketball moving forward.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and take this moment to talk a little bit about what we're doing with our channels. I don't know if you noticed this, but we did add a secondary channel to our network. Basically, we have Utah Hockey DNA.
Dude, first try.
Exactly. Nailed it every time. If anybody watched our video yesterday, the creative edits that we put together for that.
Yes, it was a nightmare.
It was tough. Once we actually have a team name, that'll be a lot easier for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the time, so what we're doing is what we've done is we realized that we built a channel where we're covering a lot of different sports, and we have 830 loyal subscribers on our channel right now that are watching us for different reasons. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a ecosystem where if you want to watch everything that we talk about, absolutely our main channel is going to be there for you. But we are going to be creating sub channels that you can subscribe to if there's specific teams or specific subjects that you want to follow. Like we're going to have, one specifically for the University of Utah football. We're going to have one specifically for the Utah Jazz, and we're also going to have one specifically for the NHL Utah hockey team. We also plan on doing one for Major League Baseball as well, because
absolutely
we have majority of our viewership.
We still get a ton of views on just MLB content. So we just want to give you guys the opportunity to subscribe to certain channels if you just want to kind of filter through the content. Should be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll definitely get into that. We also have another comment here from Michelle. Let's go ahead and throw that one up there. Nice sub channels. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes. I believe Michelle is a connoisseur of our content there, but she's heavy on the baseball. So we're looking out for you there, Michelle, for sure. But yeah, so those will be coming up. So thank you. You are welcome. You definitely will start seeing those coming up here soon. We got the hockey one. So make sure if you're excited about the new hockey team that we just got in Salt Lake City, Utah, for Utah, not just Salt Lake City because they're representing the whole state.
Absolutely.
But for the state of Utah, if you're excited about that, we just launched a secondary channel for that. Our 3 videos that are covering the subject already up on that channel, including the live, not the live, but the in-person viewing of the event that they had last night. So let's go ahead and cover that, shall we?
Yeah, video's already up. You guys take a look at it. Smash that subscribe button on the channel. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Should we change the lighting for this?
Yes.
Okay.
We probably should have changed it before we started talking about it, but it'll at least give you a spot to move back from.
Yeah. Let's go purple.
Purple. Love it.
Purple. Since we're not talking about the Jazz today, we could go purple.
Yep.
But yeah, so once again, folks, let's go ahead and talk a little bit briefly about the hockey situation that we have going on. So we talked about it at length yesterday. We just posted a video this morning on the main channel. It went up last night on the hockey channel there, where the Ryan Smith and the rest of the organization there welcomed our new team here to Utah, the Utah Hockey Club, as it's been deemed right now, because we're not going to get a name for a while. But yeah, talk about your experience with that.
Well, I would love to, because I'm going to tell you, I had a feeling that there was going to be a good turnout, right? Like going to this event, I thought, okay, this is going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of people here. They're going to be jazzed about hockey. What I didn't realize is that there is a major amount of hockey interest in the state of Utah, and especially in downtown Salt Lake City, because it was absolutely insane.
Yeah, they hit max capacity. I was listening on ESPN 700 on the way back from dropping off. I was on the road basically, and they talk about almost a sellout crowd that was there. They got that wrong, man. That place was at max capacity 15 minutes after they opened the door, and there were still 3,000 to 4,000 people standing outside the complex.
Yeah, we were out there with them.
We were out
because we decided to go in a few minutes late. We got there in time. We could have walked in.
Yeah, but we
decided to check out the outside scene, get some footage for the video we just posted. Again, check that out
for the people. for you folks there, so you guys didn't have to endure it. It was like 85 degrees outside.
Yeah, it was warm and there was a ton of people, but there was free hot dogs.
There was free hot dogs, which was awesome. J-Dogs. We did get some J-Dogs.
It was delicious.
It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah. Not an ad.
Definitely not an ad. Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. But hey, definitely, let's for sure.
But the vibe was absolutely insane. People were so pumped up to have hockey here. I think my favorite part was, because we did interview some people, as like, you'll see it in the video, but just talking about different people and obviously a lot of Utah hockey fans have different fan bases because there's not a team here.
Right.
We talked to some Avalanche fans, some Red Wing fans, some Canuck fans, and every one of them were like, dude, this is going to be awesome. I mean, just, to see their new favorite teams come into Utah, they can watch their favorite players, and then also now get to watch their new second favorite team, be in the new Utah team. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic. And there was a few things we didn't actually get to talk about. Let's talk about the name. We did. That's one of the questions we asked a lot of people.
Yeah.
SEG Group, the SEG Entertainment Group put out the 5 names that they copyrighted there for
8 teams.
8 teams.
8 names. Yeah.
8 names.
So there's a final 8 names that they've listed that are going to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
And those names are the Utah Mammoth, Utah Yetis, Utah Blizzard, Utah HC or Utah Hockey Club, Utah Venom, Utah Outlaws, Utah Ice, and Utah Fury. Those are the 8 teams that'll be in the bracket.
Gotcha. So with that going on, I don't know why my thing keeps binging at me here. So I'm trying to get that turned off here. Sorry, guys. I keep getting a bunch of bings. Anyway, so when it comes to those names there, we did have Ryan Smith. He did mention that he hired a branding firm called Doubleday and Cartwright, who's going to help with canvassing the community and with Qualtrics and their surveys and stuff like that. He is pretty confident he'll be able to get
absolutely
the name locked down there with no bots, because apparently that was a problem for actually for the Kraken and for the Golden Knights. Like they had a problem with bots. So, the fans may not have been the ones who picked the name for those 2 teams.
Right. But Ryan Smith owns Qualtrics or sold Qualtrics, I guess.
Yeah. He at least he knows about it. So we'll be able to get their name right.
We're going to get an accurate name. That's for sure.
Yeah. So super amazing with the whole process of how they're doing that and how he's letting the fans help choose the name.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be awesome. I mean, I think you and I both agree. We have a few options. My favorite one that I first put out there on our channel, on our video last week, make sure you check that out, was the Utah Raptors. I think that's a good call.
Which did not make the final 8.
Which did not make the final 8, which sucks. So that's, that it's neither here nor there.
But I do love the name.
Yeah. I do believe that Blizzard's going to be on the list.
Blizzard is on the list. Yep.
And I think if I'm going to go that route, I'm saying, okay, Blizzard is the name and then Yeti is the mascot. What do you think?
I think if Blizzard and Yeti make it to the final 2, I could absolutely see it happening. You know what I mean? Because the Yeti is an absolutely perfect mascot for the Blizzard.
Yeah. Did you see the comment we had on that where somebody was arguing about the fact that the Yeti is
absolutely
commenting on the guy? He's like, the Yeti's from Mongolia. He's like, yeah, but the Kraken's from back, and he's like, I don't know why I'm arguing the geographical locations of fictitious creatures, but it is what it is. I'm like, that's just fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. We could be the Utah Nessies or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know, but what do you think it's going to end up being if you were to put gun to your head? What is it?
I'm gonna go with probably Blizzard, and I think it's the double Z, like we kind of said in the other video.
Oh yeah,
with the Jazz, the Blizzard, like go crazy.
Yeah, I hope it's going to be that, but I can also see it just staying Utah HC.
It's a cool name. It's kind of got a vibe to it.
Yeah.
I don't see people voting for HC though.
Did you see the comment that we talked about that someone commented just recently on the video that we posted earlier this morning on the main channel, where he said, I really like the Black Diamonds, but I think that would be better for as a baseball.
The baseball team.
And when he said that, I'm like, ooh, that is very, very
great
good.
point. Yeah.
Very, very. Imagine if they were playing and the bases were black.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
That'd be cool. I mean, they probably wouldn't be able to get away with it because the umps wouldn't be able to.
There's like major league rules and stuff.
Probably have to be a certain color. So
whatever.
There's precedence though. During the Spider-Man movie, first release, they put webs on the bases for as a promotion at Major League Baseball for that. So there is precedence for it. So we'll see.
We got it.
But anyway, yeah. So 27,000 and counting tickets. Season tickets have been pre-sold already for deposits. We'll see. Usually about half of those things usually drop off. So that still puts you at around 15,000, which is still max capacity for the Delta Center. So this season might even be sold out before anybody gets a chance to actually, buy a ticket. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I know I'm looking forward to it. How about you?
Oh, dude, absolutely. I mean, I can never remember a time in my life that I've been so hyped up to actually watch hockey. We went and got some drinks and we're watching some hockey that was on last night after the event. And it was just like, I'm actually interested.
Yeah. We were watching Toronto versus Boston, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And the fact is like, watching and intently like, okay, let's see what this is about.
Yeah.
Let's give it a run. Like we may not be traditional hockey fans, but having a team here, I'm absolutely going to support them.
Yeah, we're in it, man. We're in it. We're looking forward to it. Hockey fans, let us know in the comments down below. Are you guys excited about this team? We love to hear from you in the comments. We love hearing the back and forth. Let us know. We're going to build our opinions based off of our audience and interaction. So we greatly appreciate it. Make sure you comment down below for sure. Again, we do have that secondary channel, Utah Hockey
DNA.
Dang it, I almost did it right the second time too.
You did. That was close.
Utah Hockey DNA is our secondary channel, our first secondary channel for the new team here in Utah. Be sure to check it out. It's got 3 videos up there. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Really helps out the channel. Once again, folks, this is a live stream. If you are watching this live, please feel free to comment in the live chat. Let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to interact with you live here while we're doing this. Also, keep in mind, folks, we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers here on our main channel. Once we hit that 1,000 subscribers, we are going to give away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway. And also smash that like button for your boy AJ over there.
Appreciate it.
All right. You want to go ahead and move on to a little bit of baseball, should we?
Yeah, we need to.
All
we
right.
got lots of baseball to talk about.
We do have lots of baseball to talk about.
So Michelle, get ready.
Yeah, Michelle, get ready. Nessa Joe says, I am subscribed. I'm subscribed. Perfect. Thank you, Nessa Joe, to subscribing to both our Prime channel and also our new Utah Hockey DNA channel. More to come on those for sure.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let's talk a little bit about let's talk Major League Baseball, shall we?
Oh yeah.
All right. Where do you want to start first?
Let's start at the top, man. Early MVP predictions.
Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and start there. So it's about maybe a third, not even a third. We're 20, 30 games into the season so far. And we definitely have some outright, people who are making a case for themselves to be MVP so far this year.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and start with the National League. Who is your pick for MVP and why?
There's only one man that can be my MVP, and that's going to be Ronald Acuna Jr.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm a Braves fan through and through ish. And also I understand he's only hitting 281 right now, right? He's only hit 1 home run, but
only 281.
Yeah.
It's still above average, but okay.
It's above average, but I'm saying like only 281. But he's only hit 1 home run so far this season, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, but how many stolen bases do you have?
I don't have that stat in front of me.
Because that's like obviously the most important reason
it
why
is
he won
the most
MVP
important
last
stat.
year.
And that is the only thing you need to do. So as long as he steals bases this season, he's still my MVP. But the fact is he's still young. There's still lots of baseball to play. I think he gets there and gets another National League MVP.
Okay. Well, I like your ambition. I like your ambition, and I like your fan support of your home team there, and the ability to look at some stats there to help support your opinion.
That's right.
But yeah, you ready to lose this one?
Oh, it's not losing. This is an opinion-based conversation.
Okay. I have a name in the National League, and honestly,
hold on, pump the brakes. Let me guess. Is it a Dodgers player?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
It would be, but that's just because we have the MP3. The MV3. Sorry, we have the MV3 on our team. The top 3, 1 through 3, is all won an MVP on our team.
Okay.
So we have Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani.
Solid.
All on the same there. But when it comes
Shohei's still like top 5 for early predictions too,
yes.
Which is as a DH.
He is my pick for the National League most valuable player.
Oh, no way.
Yes. He leads the league. And
I didn't see that one coming, to be honest with you. I was sure you were going to say Betts.
No. Well, I would pick Mookie, but Mookie's actually slid a little bit. I mean, he is in the top 3 for home runs, slugging. He's doing a great job. And he's also doing it from shortstop, which is a position he hasn't played since he was in high school, and he's 31 years old playing a full-time shortstop. That's never been done in MLB history. But let's go ahead and talk about MLB history, and that is one Mr. Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani leads the league in batting average right now. He leads the league in doubles. He has insane amount of power, and he hit the hardest ball hit so far this year at 118 miles per hour against the Washington Nationals.
That's insane.
Yeah, the Washington Walgreens. I don't really like their logo, but anyway, so it's definitely worth noting there that he would be my pick. Now, if I was to say my secondary pick, my sneaky pick is actually an Atlanta Braves player.
And it's not Ronald?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Ronald Acuna Jr. One thing you'll know about baseball is that they very rarely vote for the same MVP twice. This isn't the NBA. They don't do the MVP two times in a row. The only time that's ever happened is actually, no, that's not true. Maybe Shohei Ohtani might try war back-to-back MVPs, but I don't see it happening for Ronald because there's really like 3 people I put in front of him. Although he is in the top 5 odds for getting the MVP in the National League. So, one spot ahead Mookie Betts for some reason. I don't understand that one, but
always
stolen bases, baby. No, Austin Riley, dude. Austin Riley is my pick for the Atlanta Braves to get the MVP.
Dude, he's playing so good this year.
Guy's a stud.
Yeah.
Darno is also killing it over there.
And kind of came out of nowhere too.
Yeah, I think Ozuna would make a good case for himself if he didn't have the off the field issues that he has. I doubt they want the MVP to be in that position,
right?
But as far as that goes, it's I would say it's gonna be Shohei Ohtani for the National League. I think he's just coming into his own. He's coming right out of that betting scandal, and why it did affect him early. He's been on fire lately. All love to Mookie Betts and the fact that he went 5 for 5 the other day when someone doubted the fact that he could be an MVP. So definitely some stuff about that. But there's one more thing I'd like to talk about when it comes to Shohei Ohtani and him being my MVP, but we'll talk about here in a minute. So let's go ahead and move on to the American League. In the American League, who is your way too early MVP prediction and why?
So I'm going to go with Bobby Witt Jr.
Okay, cut. We can't do that. We told we're not going to talk about the Royals.
I know
they don't get views.
I know. I'm sorry, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to do this. Okay.
No, I love this pick. Go into it. I love this pick.
I like Bobby Witt Jr., man. I mean, and I think the big reason he's currently hitting 308. He's already got 4 home runs, 11 RBIs. This kid's 23 years old. He just signed his 11-year, $288.7 million contract. And the reason this kid wins the MVP is he's got nothing to do but play baseball. You know what I mean? He's not in a contract year. He can go out there and play free. He's got his money. I mean, he's signed through age 34 currently. So he can just go out there and ball, man. He's having a great season so far. I could really see him coming out of the AL and getting that MVP.
So when it comes to that, like he came out of that, he just got that massive payday, that massive extension, which we did not expect to happen there.
Right.
And again, a lot of people would talk about how it's important for in order to be an MVP. Shout out to Sean Roach, who thinks this way, that in order for you to be the MVP, your team has to at least be a playoff team, right?
Right.
So I think that's perfectly acceptable. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know. Like, do you think that's going to come into some kind of play there? Do you think that's going to have,
Do I think the team not being successful is going to come into his play and not getting the MVP?
Right, exactly.
I mean, of course, that always, I do believe that does weigh in. You know what I mean? Your team success is always going to weigh, because if you can affect the team enough to make them win, what good are you really doing? But this kid's playing out of his mind, man. And the Royals have a chance to turn it around. They're not in terrible position. So I don't know. That's my pick.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Bobby Witt Jr. is an awesome player. I think he's going to be one of the key pieces that you're going to push them towards relevance going forward.
Yeah.
Great contract. Good for the team friendly contract. Great for the player.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know. I mean, over time, I think that's going to be a steal for sure. All right. So my pick for the AL MVP is a guy we featured on the channel before. His name is J-Ram.
Ooh.
I picked J-Ram. Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Guardians.
Playing crazy good baseball now.
Crazy good baseball, batting .260, which isn't great, but he has 5 home runs. He has 23 RBI, and he's also got an OPS of 742. None of these numbers really scream at you there, but this guy's been in the top 5 MVP votes every year for the past like 3 years on the American League side. And I really think that he's really kind of being that poster child for really carrying that team.
Yeah.
The Naylor boys are doing well. The brothers are doing well. But
he just had a grand slam the other night.
Exactly.
I mean, to just kind of to break the game wide open. Like, he's just playing crazy good baseball.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like that thing that really pushes him over the edge. There's been, there's a lot of like not necessarily like actual baseball stuff that goes into the MVP. There's a lot of the, stuff about, people who are actually rooting for you. And I really think that J-Ram, this is his year in the American League to get that. Now, do you have a sneaky pick? So somebody like that you wouldn't think coming out of left field that could potentially get it?
In the American League?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay. Mine's Juan Soto.
I saw Soto.
I think he's doing great things for the Yankees. I think they got a chance,
Yeah.
I think he's got a sneaky chance. I still pick J-Ram over Juan Soto, but contract year, doing great things in the Yankee uniform.
And it's funny because my justification on Witt is he's out of a contract year, but sometimes players in a contract year just perform out of their minds.
Well, I think that's what makes Bobby Witt Jr. such a good pick, is that he's got his bag. And usually when that happens, people tend to recess quite a bit. So I don't know, man. I think it's a great pick, man. Bobby Witt Jr. I didn't even think about him. I think that one like totally beats mine, to be honest with you. I really like J-Ram, but that is definitely a good one for sure. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and pivot on over to our next piece there, which is going to be about the Cleveland Guardians, man. Let's talk about them a little bit.
Yes.
So when it comes to that, let's go ahead and first state the obvious here. Let's talk about the standings, right?
Yeah.
So right now in the MLB Central, the Cleveland Guardians. Well, do you want to run this?
Yeah. I mean, as of right now, the Cleveland Guardians are 18-7, currently leading the AL Central. They have been playing really, really well. They did. So I want to pump the brakes on this a little bit because I saw this, and my thing is you realize they've had 6 games against the A's this year already.
Right.
And in those 6 games, they went 5-1.
Right.
So, and then also they went.
So
6.
are you going with the thing where you need to put a T-shirt on when you're?
They ain't play nobody yet, man.
They haven't played anybody.
They ain't play nobody yet.
That is awesome.
They played the Boston Red Sox. They went 6-2 against them.
Okay.
So 11 of their wins and only 3 of their losses came against 2 teams.
That's true. That's happened a lot for a lot of teams, though.
Yeah, and I get it because you're on 3-game series, and you know what I mean. But like, they've been stomping 2 teams into the ground for 11 wins.
That's true. But you got to play the schedule in front of you. I agree with you there. Do I think that they're going to be there at the end of the year? And well, honestly, man, I really thought Minnesota was going to be playing a lot better than what they're playing. But yeah, I'd have
especially after the year they had last year.
Well, just think about it. Think about what happened with the Guardians. They lost Giolito. They lost Sonny Gray. Not Sonny Gray. They lost Bieber. He's down with Tommy John. So.
Oh, Bieber's out with Tommy John right now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, because he had a great start. I mean, he started the season 2-0.
Yeah, so he's out with Tommy John.
Yeah.
So they're basically just putting together with their 4th, 5th, 3rd best pitchers out there and calling people up. Sounds familiar, Dodgers fans, right? You had 3 people making their MLB debut for the Dodgers this year already, which is ridiculous for starting pitchers. But anyway, coming off of that there, the Cleveland Guardians there, again, 18-7, just killing it. They have more wins in the American League than any other team. They have a crazy run differential of 49, which is 10 above the next closest team, which is actually in their division, the Kansas City Royals.
Again, they've been stomping.
They've been stomping bad teams, exactly. But so we'll see what happens there. I do think that's going to be a close one between the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Guardians. So for once, the American League Central is actually going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. for the first time in a long time. I mean, Logan Allen, Tanner Bybee, they've both been playing great. They're 5-0 starts so far this season. So
yeah, absolutely. Speaking of, didn't Logan Webb just go down with an injury for the Giants?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so man, it's tough in baseball right now, man.
Mm-hmm.
Tough in baseball right now. But yeah, so Cleveland Guardians fans, you guys are off to an awesome start. Let us know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think this is sustainable? Do you think that the Naylor boys are just going to keep doing what they're doing? Did you see when Josh Naylor hit that home run and then immediately hit himself in the head with the baseball bat?
I did see that.
Like, dude, that guy is insane. You do not want to be on the wrong side of that guy.
No.
That guy is just like, He's amped up and ready
Absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love
That's
it.
commitment right there.
Yeah, Cleveland fans, let us know in the comments down below. Are you loving watching this team? Because honestly, I've been loving watching it. I've caught a couple of games, and I can't believe they're at where they're at with given their injury history and the players they lost. So super awesome. Keep it up. Look forward to covering them more this year. Let's go ahead and pivot on over to the man, the myth, the legend. Let's talk a little bit about Mr. Shohei Ohtani again, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so he makes history. Do you know what that history is?
I know his history always involves him jacking the ball out of the park a lot.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually what it is. So he now has officially hit the most home runs by a Japanese-born player in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Passing Matsuhiro Tanaka. I believe that's
I have Hideki Matsui.
No, sorry. Hideki Matsui. Yeah, Masahiro Tanaka. That is that is a Cleveland Indians fake player from the Major League movies.
So that's not who he passed.
You have no huevos. So we have Shohei Ohtani hitting the most home runs for a Japanese-born player in Major League Baseball history, which is awesome. So yes, hey, Tammy's in the chat. Welcome, Tammy. Welcome to the chat there. Way to go, Ohtani. Absolutely. So Ohtani does break the record for most home runs. I believe it's at 177 with his hardest hit ball, which was 118 miles per hour. You got to imagine how that is. Every time Shohei Ohtani comes up to the plate, they got to switch out the balls because they know that the pitch, if he potentially hits a home run. Can you imagine what pitcher's doing? Like he's like standing there on the mound, and then also the ump goes, "Whoa, time! Here, take this ball instead," and he's not allowed to throw the ball away. They're like, why? Oh, just in case he goes deep on you, he's gonna make history.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that's like for a pitcher?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Did you see he's also one homer away from tying manager Dave Roberts for the most home runs in Dodgers history by a Japanese-born player?
Yeah, actually, it's 100% correct. He's 76, I believe.
Yeah.
No, wait, what was it? How many home runs was it?
I don't have that in front of me.
Oh,
I just have that specific line.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I can't remember how many it was, but yeah. So currently, right now, Dave Roberts, who is actually half Japanese, I believe, was actually born in Japan. So Dave Roberts, even though you wouldn't think of him as a Japanese-born player, he actually was a Japanese-born player, and he hits. Shohei Ohtani needs to hit one more to tie him, and then another one to break his record. So Dodger history, right there on the right there.
Boom.
On the edge there for sure. So the Dodgers are actually in the news a little bit there. Everybody's pretty surprised at the fact that they are, playing the way they are. They're only a game and a half above the Padres right now in their division. While they do have the second best record in the National League, you wouldn't think a team like this would have only the second best record in the National League right now. Yeah, second to
the Atlanta Braves.
That's right.
That's right.
You're not going to say go Braves?
Go Braves.
There it is. Okay. Sorry. Every time I bring up Braves, he's got to say,
go Braves.
There it is. So it's like a thing.
It's a thing.
So anyway, so a lot of people were talking about that. They did drop probably their last 3 series. They lost one to the Giants. Sorry, not to the Giants. They lost one to the Padres, and they lost one to the Mets. And then they had one game win at that. It's kind of an FU game where they won 10-0 on that one.
Ouch.
And they lost a series to the Nationals, the Washington Walgreens. I don't know.
Whatever they are these days.
Have you seen their logo?
It looks just like the Walgreens logo.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if I need to pick up a prescription or not. I don't know.
Yeah, you probably do.
Yeah, so I probably
especially if you're in Washington.
I like it. So anyway, they're now back, and they just as of today swept the Nationals in DC as of today. So that was quite interesting. A lot of people were talking about what's his name. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and how he's the highest paid pitcher, and he hasn't been pitching very well this year. But I would have to say that he did have a great start. 6 innings of scoreless ball.
It's also much different getting used to what you can get past MLB players. You can be great in Japan, right?
Yeah.
But you're now playing Major League Baseball in America. Every one of these hitters is the best at what they do.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, your off-speed pitch has got to be crisp. You can't give up anything in your hand. Like, you've got to be a game, and I just think there's a little bit of an adjustment period. I think he's going to be just fine.
The mound's the different slope, the ball's different. There's a
Yeah.
lot of different changes you got to make in Major League Baseball versus over there at the NPB for sure. So give him time. While he's not my pick for Cy Young this year, which we'll get to next week. Way too early predictions for the Cy Young Award winner. So be sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss that video when we talk about that next week. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on from Shohei Ohtani and the Los Angeles Dodgers to something that Dodgers fans actually are going to be happy to hear. Let's talk a little bit about the Houston Astros, shall we?
No, let's not talk about the Houston Astros. What do we got on the Houston Astros?
It's on the thing. Houston woes.
It says Houston O's.
Oh, all right. Well, sorry, I'm not one of stupid autocorrect. Let's talk a little bit about.
Yeah, let's talk about the Houston Astros, Darren.
Okay, perfect. Why don't you go ahead and pull the microwave after it? Okay, so perfect. Let's talk a little bit about the Houston Astros. Now, the Houston Astros are currently sitting at a record of 9-16, which is not great. Over the last 10 games, they are 3-7. They've lost 2 in a row. Their run differential is a -40. And believe it or not, listen to this. The Houston Astros actually have a worse record than guess which team?
The Marlins.
I don't know. We have to check on the Marlins, actually. Yes, they do have a worse record than no, actually they have a 1 game better record than the Miami Marlins. But it's actually the Oakland A's have a better record and leading them in the division.
No way.
Yes. Right now the Oakland A's are 9-16, and the Houston Astros are 7-19. So the Houston Astros are dead last in their division, absolutely right in that struggle bus for sure. And yeah, so they're behind. They're 4th in their division behind the Seattle Mariners, who are in 1st place, half a game above the Texas Rangers. 3 games behind are the Los Angeles Angels. Then you have the Oakland A's, for some reason not in last place right now, and the Houston Astros are in dead last place.
That is insane, dude.
That is absolutely insane. I mean, they've had a lot of injuries when it comes to starting pitching, which is kind of what they've always hung their head on.
Yeah, exactly. When that's where you.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to sneeze there. Sorry. Anyway, go on.
When you hang your hat on pitching and you get that many, you start losing pitchers. Like it changes the way your whole defense has got to play. Which your defense has got to change, and all of a sudden your bats take a hit. Like things can snowball real quickly in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, especially when you take away the garbage cans, buzzers, and whistling. Yeah, it does take away a lot.
It does. It makes it very difficult when you don't know what pitch is coming.
It does. It makes it very, very hard.
Yeah, it's way easier if you know there's a curveball coming.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, anyway, we've got comments there. We got comments there coming from Michelle McKinnon. Yeah, sorry, we're talking a lot of trash on the Houston Astros. Sorry, they are going through the road. It's not nice to kick people while they're down, but absolutely. We do also have another comment there from Tammy Price that says, what do you think about Andy Pages? So this is a good story. So Andy Pages is one of the Dodgers minor league players that have been called up and actually been absolutely killing it for the Dodgers in the first couple of games. He came up because of Chris Haywood's injury. So he was brought up to kind of fill that role. He's already hit 2 home runs for the Dodgers, has a lot of key RBIs, key at bats, and just dominating out there in the field with his speed. Awesome kid. I hope he stays with the team for the rest of the year for sure. Definitely going to be that call up the Dodgers have. They always have like a call up in the year where they tend to stick with the team.
You think he'll make the roster
for the rest of? Oh yeah, he's not going back down.
Nice.
I hope he doesn't. Dave Roberts, if you're listening, do not send that kid back down. Andrew Friedman, if you're listening, please do not send that kid back down. That kid is amazing. Andy Pages, turn the Pages, as Doug McCain says on his thing. He needs to stay. He has brought up himself as a major leaguer, needs to stay. Send down Chris Taylor and James Outman. Keep this kid up here for sure. Yeah, great call there, Tammy. Great call. But yeah, so I mean, as far as that goes, sorry to hear for the Houston Astros fans. I'm pretty sure they're going to turn it around. I don't really think they're going to be, where they're at for.
Yeah, it just takes a couple games. You can get on a winning streak pretty easy.
Yeah, you can't get into a slump on one game, and you definitely can't get out of a slump in one game either. So it's going to be a while. So I do still see them being a playoff team, whether they win the division or not. They're still going to be in the playoffs, and knowing the Astros are still going to find a way into the American League Championship Series. So, while Yankees fans are probably cheering and stuff like that, keep in mind your postseason does not start until you go through the Houston Astros. So Definitely look into that for sure. All right, let's go ahead and move on from the Houston Woes.
The Houston Woes,
yeah,
or Houston O's, however, whatever you'd like to call it.
Yeah, stupid Houston. Stupid autocorrect, man. I'm sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Aaron Boone. So we did talk a little bit about the Yankees, and we mentioned them a few times.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Did you see Aaron Boone's phantom ejection the other day?
I had to watch this 3 or 4 times because, like, Aaron Boone's not even looking at the umpire when he gets ejected. Yeah. He's like clearly talking to somebody else in the dugout.
Well, he's actually not saying a word because the umpire turns and looks to the guy. So to set the story, Aaron Boone is jarring at the ump for making bad play calls, which is something we also need to talk about here soon about how bad the refs are this year, man. The umpires have been horrible, especially behind the play, the balls and strikes. They're not doing too bad on the base passes because the base passes are the size of pizza boxes now, so you better not
real hard to miss.
Real hard to miss, unless they.
But I mean, and there's always the ever going Angel Hernandez situation where
we got to make a video.
He calls. I mean, he's making strike calls 8-9 inches outside 3 times in a row. Like, what is going on here?
I think we're the only baseball channel that covers baseball that hasn't made an Angel Hernandez video.
And that's kind of by design. You know what I mean? Like you can find plenty of content, but we'll give it to you if you'd like it.
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below if he wants to call the tragedy that is Angel Hernandez and why he's still in the league. I don't know. He's got dirt on somebody, man. But yeah, so Aaron Boone actually is, jarring at the home plate umpire about bad calls. And the umpire turns and looks at him and says, "One more word and you're out of here." And he doesn't say anything. He folds his arms, starts looking over this way. And then gets tossed, gets thrown out immediately. And then Aaron Boone starts freaking out. He's like, "Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you tossing me?" And then his bench coach turns and points towards the fans. And if you look really, really carefully,
you can see the fan yelling.
You can see the fan yelling, "Come on, let's go. Make the, better."
Yeah, let's go home plate.
Yeah, let's go home plate is what he said. And then Aaron Boone gets tossed because a fan makes a comment.
Yep.
And here's the problem with the whole umpire situation is obviously he made a mistake. Obviously Aaron Boone didn't say anything. He tossed him, and because he has to swallow his pride, he can't say, "Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, that wasn't you, that was a fan.
Yeah,
doesn't matter, you're gone anyway." Which is absolutely stupid. If you blew something, blew a call or did something, you just own it and be like, "Yeah, you know what, you're right. Never mind. You're stayed in." Just call it, dude.
He had the opportunity to fix it right there.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, if he just fixes it, he's probably looked at as like he had the brief opportunity for the 2 seconds that it, to fix that, or in the 5-minute conversation he had with Aaron Boone after he ejected him, to actually turn the tides and say, "I made a mistake. I'm an MLB umpire and I made a mistake."
Yeah, and that's never going to happen in Major League Baseball, and I don't know why.
But if he takes advantage of this one opportunity, he could change the whole way games are umpired.
Oh yeah, and take some of the heat off of the umpires this year. There's a lot of heat on these guys right now.
There's a ton because they're making terrible calls, and he's just continuing with it.
It's absolutely insane. I don't understand what happened. I mean, I do understand what happened. I don't understand why he was allowed to stand and why that ejection wasn't overturned, or at least the MLB's umpire union come out and said something about it.
Well, the MLB made a note saying that the ejection was like not right.
Yeah, but the umpires association
didn't make any comments on it.
That union didn't make it.
Yeah. So they knew we messed up. They still didn't say anything. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. Some accountability needs to be happening with these umpires, man. I mean, it's the same in with the referees in the NBA. We're seeing some of the pretty bad calls on that side as well. So I don't know, man. It's just I think there needs to be some ownership to that. They got to take.
And don't get me wrong, being an umpire, being a referee, these are very difficult jobs, right? Mm-hmm. Here you have thousands and thousands of people, if not millions of people watching some of these games that the only thing they're going to do is judge you for every single call that you make in every single situation. It is a very stressful job. But if you're given a situation like this one, where you ejected somebody, realized you were wrong, had the opportunity to correct it and don't, that's where my problem is.
100% agree with you, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know in the comments down below, Yankees fans. Let us know what you think about the Aaron Boone ejection and how a fan got him kicked out of the game. Let us know what you think. Do you think something needs to change there, or do you think it's just status quo and that's just baseball? We should get used to it. Let us know what you think.
Absolutely.
Once again, folks, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We are giving the first $500 of what we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on that. We do have a couple of chats here. People in the chat we need to mention there. Michelle says defined umps. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what's going on there.
Understatement of the century.
Yeah,
Michelle.
Nice job, Michelle. Covered that one. I don't know. They're pride, man. Pride's getting in the way, and yeah, 100% agreed. Yeah, it's definitely true. That's just, I don't know. There needs to be some accountability. They had the chance to fix it. They didn't. It's really annoying. So, it is what it is. But let's go ahead and move into our last subject of the day here, which is actually going to be covering a team that we don't cover that often.
Which is crazy because we're so close to them.
We are so close to them. And that just kind of immediately tells you about how amazingly irrelevant they've been over the last
10 years.
Oh, probably add a decade to that one too, for sure. But yeah, the Colorado Rockies are actually under FAA investigation. Why don't you go ahead and break down what's going on there?
FAA meaning like the Federal Aviation Administration?
Yes, that's who I mean. Absolutely.
Which is funny because when I saw the headline, I was just like, FAA? Like, yeah. I'm thinking it has something to do with baseball. Like, okay, fair enough. Yeah. No. So what happened? Hitting coach Hensley Newellens posts a picture or a video of him in Instagram that was immediately deleted, of course, of him in the cockpit during the flight while it's on autopilot. So he's sitting in there hanging out, post a picture with a caption, "Had some fun in the cockpit on our flight from Denver to Toronto. Thanks to the captain and the first officer on our United charter that allowed me to this great experience." Yeah.
And the worst part is that he actually went on and said, "Don't worry, I'm landing the plane. So no worries," or whatever like that. He said that he's landing it, so don't worry. And the worst part is if I actually watched some stuff on this and his hand on the yoke where he's hovering is the button to engage and disengage the autopilot, right where his thumb is, so naturally the FAA lances an investigation, and obviously this is a chartered flight, so the rules are different for a chartered flight versus a flight that you and I would go on, where people are allowed in the cockpit. People, there's a lot more discretion to the captain and stuff like that that's involved in that. But in this case, it did cross some lines.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. So now keep in mind, there's a lot of people are like freaking out about this, like that. Oh, he posted that. The hitting coach posted that to his Instagram. Actually, no, the video actually came from the captain of the plane himself.
Right.
That is his video.
Right. It was confirmed. It was confirmed by the post on his Instagram.
Yes. So he was the one behind the camera filming it, and he was definitely in control of the situation as they were going. So was there my first question to you is, based off of everything we know about this, was there a huge risk on that flight of something going wrong with that moment?
Well, yes. I mean, always. If you're operating a plane and something does go wrong, or if he bumps something and turns off autopilot and the plane crashes, and the whole Colorado Rockies support staff, or whichever amount of these people were on this particular plane, right?
It's about 50 passengers.
50 passengers go down, and then this video is found 2 days later on someone's phone, because it wouldn't have gotten posted at that point, obviously.
Right. Because everybody's perfect about turning off the signal on their phone.
And I mean, obviously it is a chartered flight. There could have been a Wi-Fi. Maybe it was already up. I don't know. But my point is if the plane goes down and this whole situation happens, this is a completely different discussion.
Yes, absolutely. But that's hindsight. I would have to say, when it comes to this, I actually would disagree a little bit. I would actually say this flight was at no risk. The film was being done by the captain, who allowed this person in the captain's chair during the flight.
The captain's an idiot.
While the flight was en route. And if you didn't notice, the co-captain was in the co-captain's chair, right in front of the yoke, ready to take on it, just in case he accidentally disengaged the autopilot. Was this flight at risk of anything going wrong? I don't think so. I don't really think it was that big a deal. Now, do you record this and post this on the internet?
Definitely
Absolutely not. This is not one of those things you do. I mean, how many times did this happen? Probably before, where a coach went to the cockpit and asked to sit in the chair, and the captain led him while the plane was on autopilot.
Yeah, and guess how many times it's been posted before this?
Literally none.
Literally zero.
Yeah. And the captain probably said, "Hey, don't touch anything." If they even did record it, he probably did record it and said, like, "Hey, just don't post this on the internet. Just keep it for yourself." something like that. Probably happened thousands of times, right? It's not the first one. Actually, there is some accounts of people, actually players and coaches, going and sitting in the deck because they are have such a fear of flying. That's the only way that they would feel comfortable, is being able to see that, and then they come and sit back down. So definitely not the first time. Maybe the last time, though, to be honest with you, because this is a big story. There's an investigation. I think United actually came out and said, no, this is completely against our policy.
Absolutely.
We'll see what happens with the captain and the co-captain of this flight. I don't know. I mean, it sucked for somebody to lose his job just because he was simply,
being an idiot, though.
Being an idiot. That's true.
I mean, just purely plain out being an idiot. This is exactly the reason that you don't post every single thing that happens in your life on social media. Exactly. You're allowed to hold some of those things close and be like, this was a cool memory.
Yeah.
This happened to me. This is awesome. You don't need to post everything and say, look what I did. Look how cool this was. Like, Homeboy's a hitting coach for a professional baseball team.
Yeah. Do you think he loses his job?
You think he's trying to get likes? You know what I mean? Like, what are you trying to do here?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
do you think he loses his job over this?
I doubt it.
I hope not.
I mean, I wouldn't think so.
This really isn't on him, right?
Because obviously somebody told, it's not like he took the cockpit by force, but somebody obviously told him he could sit there. But I would think the pilot would probably lose their job before the hitting coach would.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's like 3 different tiers. There's like private flight, there's like charter flight, and then there's the flights that we go on. They all have their
flights.
They all have different types of rules that it comes to the FAA, and apparently, according to United, this broke all their rules. So, yeah, not looking good there. Hopefully, the Atlanta Braves. Hopefully, the Colorado Rockies. See, I don't even want to talk about the Colorado Rockies.
Wow.
Hopefully, the Colorado Rockies come out of this unscathed, and they can continue on, and this can all be moved on. But yeah, very interesting that a team of no relevance is actually in the news when it comes to something not.
However, you got to do it, man.
Yeah, get the news somehow, Rockies, right? Yeah, absolutely true. So, yeah, you got anything else on baseball?
That's what I got, buddy. That's what I got.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. I don't know why I said absolutely there, but just like one of our knee-jerk reactions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Well, first of all, again, folks, we'd like to appreciate. Thank you for joining us on this very special edition of the DNA Sports Recap live stream. We weren't on air last night because we were covering the NHL event.
Again, check that video out. Subscribe to the new channel.
Exactly. And also let us know what type of other channels you'd like us to do as a subset of this channel. Because that's, again, what we're here to do, is basically give you the content you guys want to watch where you want to watch it. We really do appreciate everybody joining the live stream, tuning in today on this episode of the DNA Sports Recap. Once again, folks, we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. So if you have not yet, please hit the subscribe button, subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell. We are giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers once we get monetized. So make sure that you are subscribed and make sure that notification bell is hit so you don't miss out on that giveaway. Also, smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Appreciate it.
You want to say your part?
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, this is available as a podcast wherever you get your audio only.
That's right. And a playlist will be somewhere.
Boom.
I don't know. Are we going to put those up there? I don't know. We might want to readjust that.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Well, once again, folks, we appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.
All right. And with that said there, folks, we are now going to sign off with our live stream as well. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Tammy, Michelle, and Nessa Joe for chiming in on the comments there.
You guys are the best.
That's right. Be safe. And yeah, we'll see you next week.